welcome, and thanks for checking in. Here today to overview one of my favorite pieces of gear. This is a military surplus wool blanket. This is about 80% wool. 100% wool is better if you can get it, but it's a little more expensive. I think I picked this one up for about 25 bucks online, and I've used it for probably about 10 years. It's been a great piece of kit. Come with me on every camp out. And today I'm going to overview maybe a little minimalist loadout I would do using the wool blanket for a couple of different applications. First, we're going to illustrate how to use it as a pack. Wool has a couple of great properties about it that make it really useful. One is that it's a natural fiber. It kind of gives a little more organic feeling when you're out in the woods. Makes you feel a little closer to the land, at least for me. The other thing is that wool retains a lot of its insulative factor even when it's wet. So if this were to get wet, it would still keep you warm. And wool is also flame retardant. So if you're close to the fire, you cuddle up on the fire with this, you use it as a reflector or something like that, you don't have to worry about it catching fire or burning through. Okay, so the first thing to note is that I have this blanket folded in thirds. I got a little ground cloth in here, a little tarp, and some cordage for some stakes so I can make a shelter. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is start adding some gear in here. All right. I have some extra cordage, right? Always a good thing to have, right? Fire kit. Alright, always need a good fire kit, a water bottle, alright, or a pot or whatever, anything like that. We'll throw a hatchet in here for good measure. First aid kit, always want that, right? You can kind of feng shui this as you go to see how it's going to fit best. Okay, a saw doesn't take up too much space. And then we got maybe an extra sweater or a jacket or something like that. You can fold that up however you want. And you know, whatever you want to put in there, alright? So once I have my gear situated, I'm going to fold this over again. Try to make it as snug as possible. Alright. What I like to do is kind of buck my knees in. Buck my knees in tight so I can get that first initial fold nice and tight. Just like that. Okay. So nice tight fold there. And then kind of pulling out the slack as I go. I'm going to kind of roll this up. Some people like to put the softest gear where their back is going to be. Honestly, that doesn't ever really bother me too much. You know, as long as you're not trying to bring the kitchen sink, it's not that big of a deal. I'm going to roll this up nice and tight. Alright, and then maybe right about there we're going to stop. Alright, then what we're going to do here is I'm going to take this, it makes like a little pocket here. It's basically about the width, from the same width as the roll. I'm going to be from the end. Maybe this is a little too short. But what it does is it makes a hollow here. So I'm going to use this hollow to make a pocket, and I'm going to try to slide my bag right into this pocket here. Makes a nice tight burrito type envelope for this. This around the edge here will be in business. There we go, just like that. Okay, now we got a nice tight roll. So I'm going to get some straps, and I'm going to show you how we wrap this up and use it as a bag. Alright, so we got our little wool blanket burrito here, right? Pretty solid, all wrapped up. Alright, so now we're just going to knot it together. I have a piece of cordage here, probably, I don't know, 8 or 10 feet or so. It's not rocket science, you just want to make sure you have enough to get the job done. A lot of people have different knot work they use for this. Alright, I'm going to start first with my little favorite trucker's hitch knot. So I'm going to go 1, 2, I'll do a third one. Come here, I'm going to go through. I don't know if you can see it. I've detailed this in a lot of my videos, so it's not, you know, you just check them out. The idea is that it's a self-tightening knot, so I don't got to go crazy trying to get this super tight. I can just push that down like that. That's good. Once I get it to the place where I think it's going to be okay, I'm going to feed it down about halfway down the length of the bag. And I'm going to wrap around the length of the bag like so. Now I want to take my cordage, and I'm going to come under the string I just wrapped around so I can pull it down tight, like so. And then I'm going to do the same thing like I did on the end of the bag. Wrap it around like so. Come underneath. Just like so. Alright, now I'm going to come around to the, pull it nice and tight, come around to the back of the bag, and I'm going to do the same thing. This time I'm going to go over and under. So I'm pulling tension to the next level up. Again, over and under, next level up, over and under, next level up. So now what I like to do, I have a little bit of extra string here, so if that's the case, I can use that to tie anything else I want to the top of my bag. If I had my bedroll or anything like that, or a poncho, something I'm going to need quick access to, I can put that right on top, loop it in, and secure it down here with another knot. And that could just be something simple. Alright, knot that down, but that could easily be my poncho or like a sleeping pad or something like that. I'll tuck this in for now. Alright, so now I got my nice little burrito. It's nice and secure. I got all my gear in there. Now how am I going to wear it? That's the next thing. So some people use strapping for this. You can use paracord too, but if you use paracord, you got to be a little stoic because it's going to dig into your shoulders depending how much weight you have on there. Alright, so the first thing I always like to do is I'm going to come through here and I'm going to make like a loop, and I'm going to put everything through the loop like so and pull it nice and tight. That's going to be my back straps right there. Alright, and I'm going to take one and put it through this side of the actually I can go underneath. Pull this side through the bottom like so. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Come underneath like so. I'm going to try to get this on my back here. Go 1 and 2. I can pull these straps nice and tight, cinch it up, make it nice and tight if I want. You can trim this cord or however you need as much as you want. If you read there's a book called Participating in Nature. I think the guy's James Alpel is his name, or Thomas Alpel. He's really good. He makes his own straps out of cattail leaves, which is pretty impressive. But if you look now, you got a nice little pack there. All right, everything you need for a couple of days in the woods with your wool blanket. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is show you what else this wool blanket can be used for. Wow, it's such a multi-use tool. Alright, we'll be back in a couple of minutes. Alright, so we're back. So we showed how to use our wool blanket as a pack. Now we're going to show how to wrap up in it. This is ideal with a larger blanket. There's a couple of different ways of doing this, but this is what I've been making do with, so we're going to use it. Alright, so the first thing is I like to have the blanket on the diagonal. Alright, I don't like to lay down straight on it, but I like to keep my feet at one corner. So I'm going to lay down here. I'm going to keep my feet, give my feet a little bit of room. I want to take the corner of the blanket, I'm going to fold it up, and I'm going to tuck it in under my heels. This kind of locks it in place and gives me a little bit of room. Alright, then I'm going to scoot back a little bit. Alright, then I'm going to take the right corner, I'm going to bring it up as high as it'll go, and I'm going to tuck it under my butt. This kind of wraps my legs in nice. I'm going to take this other side here. I'm going to wrap this all around, get it tucked in nice. I can whip this under my body as I need to. I'm going to take the back corner, pull it up. Some people like to pull this over their head, but I don't like to. I like to kind of fold it over and use it as a little bit of a pillow, and then I put my winter hat on when I sleep, kind of conserve my body heat a little bit. This makes me nice and secure. I can bring my arms in if I need to, and always retuck. Turn over on my side if I want. Keep everything nice and tucked in. Keeps me snug as a bug in a rug and pretty warm. Alright, the only thing is you know, you don't have a lot of use of your arms, so if you feel like you might have to get up at night, I mean, you can, ideally if you're close to a fire, you can feed the fire, but you are pretty tied up in here. Alright, so that's how to wrap up in a wool blanket. Next we're going to show how to use a wool blanket as a coat. Alright, so we did the how to make a pack out of the wool blanket. We showed how to wrap up in it. I'm going to do one more quick. I mean, the possibilities really are endless. It's a square of cloth, so you could really almost do anything with it. But I'm going to show you also how to use it as a coat. Traditionally, this is called a match coat. A lot of the settlers, trappers, and stuff like that used to do that. Colonial soldiers. So it's proven throughout history. It's just another way to utilize this piece of material. So what I'm going to do is put this over my head like so. Alright, and I'm going to wrap this around my waist, just close it around my waist. I'm going to take a piece of cordage. You could easily use a larger piece of fabric or a belt, but today I have cordage, so that's what I'm going to use. It's not ideal for this, and for demonstrative purposes, I'll just do a basic knot. I'm going to keep this tight. This is going to secure it around your waist here. Alright, so we got a little loop around the waist there. Now I want to make a little bit so I can have a hood. Alright, you can have a blanket pin. I have actually a blanket pin at home. I didn't bring it today. So I just made this improvised thing in the field. It's basically a little clothespin I just made out of wood. So I'm just going to clip this over one end. The idea is just so it gives me a little bit of extra fabric that I can have as a hood. I'm going to slip this on. I'm going to slip another piece on right here. Nice and tight. And that'll hold. So there we have my little match coat. I have free movement on my arm so I can still chop wood or carve around the fire if I need to. I have a hood if I get a little colder. I can pull that up. I can be like, these are not the droids you're looking for. If I want to do my Obi-Wan Kenobi, and we're all set. Match coat. So we have our backpack, how to wrap in the wool blanket, and then how to use the wool blanket as a match coat. This can augment your clothes that you're already wearing if you're around the fire and the temperature drops a little more than you're expecting. Alright, and also an improvised blanket pin. Alright, that's actually pretty secure. It's not going anywhere. Alright, so a couple of uses for a wool blanket. Again, the possibilities are endless. Come up with your own, shoot them, and send them to us. We'd love to see them. Alright, thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with more videos soon. This is Bushcraft Bums. Thanks for watching.